TV. And if you're warm and snug as a bug in a rug in your home today, or maybe at work, then that's a good thing. And it's good to sort of see and check out what you might be able to buy into if you get one of the last remaining tags or tickets for a drawdown for some really good things. And joining us to tell us more about it is Jimmy Nichols. He's with the Grab You One Outfitters. They have chosen 11-year-old Hunter as their beneficiary for their 15th annual snake grabbing rodeo. So welcome, Jimmy. Are you snug as a bug in a rug?
Hey, Rebecca, I don't know how snug I am. It's pretty booming cold.
It is cold, but you could be snug as a bug somewhere else if you're inside. Are you out in the elements today?
Well, I'm gearing up, getting ready to go climb a tree. I'm going to try to hunt, and I'm thinking it's going to be brutal.
Are deer moving in this weather? They're not that they don't hunker down during this?
If they smart, they hunker down. I wonder about us sometimes.
I do. Well, that's okay. At least it's deer hunting and you're not out looking for snakes. It's not quite time of the year for that, right?
I can assure you my little slippery friends are all hunkered down somewhere. It's just a little bit cold from a snake friend.
But it's not too cold to start gearing up for the 15th annual Snake Grabbing Rodeo. It will definitely be here before we know it. But you've already got the party started by doing your annual raffle. And it feels like each year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, Jimmy, with cooler and cooler things for whoever you have chosen that year to sort of highlight. So give us a little background on 11-year-old Hunter. What's his? How did he get chosen?
Well, it's kind of one of those deals where, usually at the deer camp, everybody sits around the fire barrel and tells lies, but this time we were actually talking about something worthy of talking about. But Hunter's name had been brought to my attention a while back, and as you know, in everyday life and business and work, things just sometimes kind of slip through the cracks. You don't necessarily forget about it, but it kind of takes a back burner at the moment. But anyway, we were sitting around the fire barrel at our deer camp earlier this year, and one of our members, Todd Warren, was talking, and he looked at me just out of the blue. I said, "Hey," you know that there were two other members sitting there, Mike Hopper and Ron Hopper, and he said, "You know that Ron's grandson has cancer and has already lost a leg and went through some stuff." And anyway, it just kind of resonated right there that maybe we should take a good hard look at him, maybe put him before our 4-member board and see what their feelings were. And I came back that weekend and passed the name along, and of course all the other guys were, pretty much instant. Yeah, let's do it. As you said, Hunter's 11 years old. He is fighting I think it's and I'm sorry, cancer to me is cancer. It's all bad. But it's some form of bone cancer, I believe. But he's already lost a leg in this fight. But he's just finished his first round of chemo and starting up his second round, and is doing exceptionally well considering. Got one of the best attitudes, I think, of anybody I've ever met. Battling an illness like this, but like I said, the other members, Joey Mays, who's an assistant district attorney over in Rankin County, spent his whole life in public service. Shane Gibson, who's a deputy sheriff down in Simpson and works out at the state hospital, been in law enforcement his whole career, been a paramedic. He's, obviously a public servant type guy. And then Joey Rigby over in Scott County Sheriff's Department, the other member. And, all of us have spent our lives working in some form of public service, and I continue to do so today after retirement. And we just enjoy helping people. Sometimes our partners get labeled sometimes in bad situations, whatever it may be, and people think that that our jobs were fun and games, and we just enjoy locking people up and all that kind of mess. But that's not really the truth. Most law enforcement people enjoy helping people, and so Hunter was selected instantly, I guess you would say. And then just as soon as we mentioned Hunter, I had people coming out of the woodworks already offering up things to raffle. We've got people offering up, hunting trips. Right now we got a raffle going on, a 4-day, 3-night getaway up at Lake Washington at Roy's Store and Cabins. And I think we got 5 tickets left. We were only going to sell 100 on that particular part of the raffle, and I think we're down to right now 5 tickets left. But on that note, I'd like to say how thankful we are to the people at Roy's store. Ricky Jones Sr., Ricky Jones Jr. Acquired that business about 2 years ago, and we started partnering up with them last year. That's where we do our annual snake grabbing rodeo, and of course we had some concerns about losing that location to do it, and Ricky jumped in head first, and have offered up all types of ways to help us make that event better up there. They've also built about 18 new cabins up there, which we have already booked out for next year or this year. So this thing, like you said, just keeps growing leaps and bounds. Last year we were able to give away about $65,000 to our beneficiary, and we're on track right now to surpass that this year. So that's our goal every year. I remember the first time we wrote a check to somebody for $500. We thought we'd done something, and then it jumps up to $6,000-7,000, and the next year 10, and then eventually I can remember writing a $33,000 check, thinking, man, this thing's doing good, and then it went from that to the very next year to $65,000. So, thanks to SuperTalk, people like you, and people who take the time to help. I ain't gonna say promote it, but help us get the word out about the benefit every year. People have learned that it's not a scam. We don't make anything from it. We make $0 from it. We don't want any money for it. We were privileged enough to our snake grabbing thing turned into a TV show that was on CMT and Amazon Prime, and we were fortunate enough to get to do things like that doing this, and now we've been able to convert that into a way to give back to the community. So that's kind of our goal now. Every year, we look forward every year. We'd like to say there was nobody to help, but as we know, and unfortunately in life, there are people who get sick, get injured, whatever it may be, and we're just looking for a way to continue to give back.
Jimmy, how long does the raffle last? Because I know the rodeo is not until it gets a little bit warmer outside, so we've got a couple months before the actual rodeo takes place, which is the second piece to this. But how long, or when does the raffle end, should I say?
Well, the cabin raffle will end pretty quick because we only got 5 tickets left on it, and that's kind of what we agreed to. We were going to sell 100 tickets on it, but we will start a new raffle on a bunch of other items. There's several firearms included in that and some other good giveaways. We don't have that list put totally together yet as to what we will be raffling off, but that raffle usually runs from about February, and we run it till we literally run out of tickets. We usually try to buy 1,000 tickets. Our goal is to sell those 1,000 tickets before June. The giveaway, we actually will give him a check. We'll give him one of those, what we call stage checks, one of the big, pretty plastic checks on the first day of June, but we'll actually write the official check somewhere in the middle of that next week, because we have to allow for things to clear the bank, make sure, some checks that we receive clear and that type stuff, because, the last thing you want to do is give somebody money and then find out one of the checks or something clear. We never had that problem, but that's just kind of a checks and balance deal. So he'll actually get his check somewhere around the middle of June. But now we try to get ahead of the game, Rebecca, because it's actually it's pretty much a job for a couple months, just coordinating the event at the lake, getting everybody set up, the cabins, the camper spots, the bands who come in and play, other people, the TV personalities that come in and help with us, like Ashley Jones from Swamp People, Moonshiner Mike Cockrell from Moonshiner. Sometimes Uncle Si comes up from Duck Dynasty. We have, one year we had, I think, 12 different TV personalities there at one time. So we've got a lot of people who pitch in and help, and it's pretty. When you have a job, a full-time job, it's pretty tough coordinating and getting everything set up. So we try to get the raffles pretty much wrapped up between probably the middle of February and somewhere around the middle of May or so.
Well, Jimmy, if someone's listening and they want to buy one of the last 5 raffles for the Lake Washington cabin, or maybe they've got something they'd like to add to your list as something that you could raffle off, how do they get in touch with you?
The easiest way, and I'm going to give you my phone number because my number's everywhere anyway. It don't bother me to put it out there. My personal cell phone number is 769-798-7253. 769-798-7253. Or you can go to Facebook to my page or the Grab You One page. But I really recommend my page because I actually see those messages, on a daily basis. So my page is Jimmy, and that's Jimmie, middle initial D, last name Nichols, Nichols Jr. And I know a couple times somebody tried to bootleg a page or two on me, but
hang tight, Jimmy. Hang tight, Jimmy. We'll wrap this up coming up next here on Good Things TV. We're continuing our conversation with Jimmy Nichols. He's with Grab You One Outfitters. They have chosen 11-year-old Hunter Buckhalter. I think I'm saying it right, Jimmy. That is their beneficiary for the 15th annual Snake Grabbin Rodeo, but you got a little bit of time left to snag some raffles for a very specific prize there at Lake Washington, with more on the way in February. So, Jimmy, I wanted to keep you because I want to make sure you got all the places we can go to at least stay up to date with the raffles, get our raffle ticket, and then also if you've got some great people wanting to help with the raffle, or are you looking for other things to raffle off?
Well, one thing I'd like to say is that we teamed up last year. We now have a 501c3 account, where if a business wants to make a donation, and we call them sponsorships, and we'll advertise their logos and stuff on all our banners, social media, whatever, we'll actually advertise for them too. But if somebody's looking for something to do a donation that they can use as a tax write-off, I strongly recommend doing it through this, because I can't think of anywhere better you could spend your money instead of giving it back to the federal government, giving it to a kid in need. And that's what a lot of our sponsors are doing the last couple of years. That is the Mississippi Center for Police and Sheriffs has teamed up with us to assist with our benefit every year. We make on our own a contribution to that 501c as a token of thanks for him, helping with our benefit, because he charges us absolutely nothing to do it. He does it out of goodness of his heart. And as you know, those things are complicated, and for us to do one and also maintain full-time jobs and stuff is almost impossible. So we do have a way that you can make donations if they're somewhat substantial, or what people would want to write off. We can do that through a 501c or C3, excuse me. And so there's many ways that you can contribute to this. You can donate items that we can raffle, or trips, whatever it may be. Hunting trips, we've had several of those offered up that have also done very well each year. And there's ways that you can write those off through this 501, so it can be as a charitable donation to this child. So we've got a lot of good people stepped up to the plate and helped us, thank God, because I'm just an old cop and not the smartest guy in the world when it comes to accounting and keeping up with stuff, but we got some great people who help us, and we're very transparent. If anybody's concerned about where their money goes or how we spend it, I'll hand them the ledger book anytime they want to look at it. We every dime that we take in, again, goes to putting this event on and giving the money to this young man. And the only way we do that is through businesses and people helping with sponsorships, and people just out of the goodness of their hearts who like to help other people. So, but again, my Facebook page is probably the easiest way, and then you can find all the links to the other stuff. But the 5 remaining 4-day, 3-night the stay at Lake Washington we have available right now is cabin of your choice. You pick your date and time. The owners up there, Ricky Jones and his son, have offered up. You pick your date, you pick your cabin. If you need a 2-man or a 10-man, they'll fix you up. And we have 5 tickets left, and I strongly encourage somebody to step up and take those last 5. They're $20 a piece. You get 15 chances per ticket. So if you bought 100 tickets, you got 75 chances to win it. And we're only selling 100, so it's your odds are fairly good at it. And again, all the money goes to this child regardless. If you happen to win it, it's just kind of like cheese on the burger. You've given to this kid, you also won a trip. So we have Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. Most people use Venmo, and the Venmo address to buy those tickets, if anybody's interested, is Grab You One. That's GRABUONE. Grab You One benefit-2024. And you can go on there and order the tickets there. I'll fill tickets out and send that person a picture of the tickets where I log them in the book. So it's real easy to do. And like I said, we've only got 5 left. We sold 100 over just the last couple of days, or right at 100. We sold 95, I guess. So We like 5 and would like to sell them.
Well, I'd like for you to be able to do that today, and especially if it's one of our Good Things listeners, let me know, Jimmy. I'll give them a special shout out just for, buying into it and helping out this 11-year-old hunter who, I have an 11-year-old, and I think anytime there's a kid involved, it just hits a little bit harder because, they should be able to be kids, right? Talking about the fact that he still has such a good spirit and a positive outlook when, this dreadful disease has already taken a leg from him and he's just fighting like heck, like any kid or family sort of would or would feel like they would. What's $20 to throw at that, right? Like, it feels like, that's the least you can do.
That's kind of my attitude, too. And, when you talk about his attitude, he wears shirts like, he wears IHOP shirts, and he wears shirts like Leg Stories, $20. Oh Snap, with a picture of a stick figure missing a leg. He's just got a great attitude, and I think that's important for anybody, whether you're 11 or you're 111, is when you have adversities or things happen to you, is you keep a positive attitude. I think that's the best medicine on earth, and I think his parents are doing an outstanding job. St. Jude's, treating him, which I can't say enough about St. Jude. Thank God for them. The people who donate to St. Jude and those organizations are special people. I don't even, you get lost for words. Like I said, I raised 3 kids. Thank God they were all, healthy. We didn't have any medical problems as kids. And I've been very fortunate to have healthy children, and I just can't imagine getting that phone call of the loss of a child or a serious illness like this. I know it's earth-shattering, but, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I think attitude, mindset is very important in any treatment or any type of rehabilitation, whatever it may be. So thank you, Rebecca, for allowing us to come on your show. SuperTalk's always been a very, very big help to us, and I just can't thank y'all enough for giving us a minute to, to give a shout out to the public and let them know that we're trying to raise money this year for Hunter Burkhalter. That's our goal from now to June, is to do the best we possibly can for this kid, and somehow maybe make his life a little bit easier. Money don't make your life necessarily easier, but it does help navigate some boundaries as you progress. So thank you for having us on, and I'm easy to find. Rebecca, you're welcome. If anybody calls in or wants information about it, you feel free to give me any information you got to contact me.
Will do. And Jimmy, what's the date for the rodeo? We can go ahead and put that on our calendars if we're looking for warmer days ahead.
Oh, amen. The actual date for the rodeo this year is May 31 and June 1, the big day being June 1. And the cabins are booked out. Roy's store is already slam packed, even his new 18 cabins, and he's filling up camper spots quick too. So it's like I said, it's growing leaps and bounds. One of your counterparts, Steve Azar, chimed in and helped us on some stuff up that way. Grabbin will be in his hometown, and so we've been very blessed. And again, I can't thank y'all enough, and thank you for having me.
Well, we'll have to remember when we get you back closer to time, Jimmy, about the fact that it's like, 28, 29 degrees today talking to you. And what is it going to be closer to that May 31st or June 1st? I think we're going to be griping about both ends of the spectrum here in Mississippi.
Pleasant weekends up there. I think last year I don't think it got over 90, and I have been up there when it was 109. So, it's typical Mississippi heat sometimes up there, but that's a beautiful lake. Mississippi Delta's got some real nice hidden treasures, and that's one of them. Roy's store and cabins up there with Ricky Jones Sr. and Ricky Jones Jr. doing a great job bringing that place up, putting Lake Washington on the map. A lot of big events go on there. He's also, I'll say this, they have a new steakhouse at Roy's store on the lake. So you win that trip, you also got a steakhouse right there on site. Like I said, beautiful lake, good food. The store serves breakfast, lunch, and then they have a steakhouse open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I strongly recommend anybody listening, if you're up around Greenville, go out and check out Roy's store on Thursday night, Friday night, or Saturday night. Great food.
Well, I highly recommend you put your long johns on if you're headed to the deer stand. I hope you were prepared.
I set on, I think.
And good luck to you if you're hunting this afternoon. If you see a deer, just let him live. It's cold out there. Like, just tip your hat to him. Like, he's hungry.
I may just do that, but thanks again, Rebecca, and thanks Rhino. Thank the the Super Talk team. We appreciate y'all, and we'll continue to listen to your shows and support you any way we can too. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll talk to you soon. I appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. There you go. If you need it, you can look at it at Jimmy D. Nichols Jr.'s Facebook page. But don't worry, I'll be sharing it into the Good Things Facebook group, which would be a good place for you to go ahead and get comfy. We got more for you.